Welcome back, Blood Bowlers. We have the semi-final complete. You can see the scores in front, but by God, that doesn't tell you half the story. We're going to start with the Wild Boys versus the Mushroom Pickers first. It was a very interesting game, one where the Mushroom Pickers took an early lead. I believe it was the second or third turn in the first half. Unfortunately, doing that, special weapons and other players that shouldn't have been on the pitch were caught by the referees and bribes were spent and some players were lost. It was then a battle of attrition for the rest of the first half and into the second half, where not one, but two touchdowns were scored by the Wild Boys and casualties were inflicted. Only two casualties were inflicted, at least by the enemy team. But it did seem that they were losing, Mushroom Pickers were losing some players along the way as consequence for this, which caused them to lose out in the end, unfortunately. But it was a tightly contested game, and honestly, I think the semi-final, with the exception of a couple of players who've dropped out and unluckiness, I think the semi-final has pretty much brought the four best teams together in the cup. And it was very, very good. Luckily, the injuries were only badly hurt and minor. So, not bad. So the first team into the half a leg cup final is the T-GOW Wild Boys, which are a first season team run by a guy called James. He's also the sponsor of the Segunda Division, the Artful Blodger YouTube channel, so be sure to have a look. It's interesting because the last cup, well, the first iteration of the half-a-leg cup was also won by someone who had freshly joined the league, and it was their first season. They also went on to win Segunda Division. Now, James is currently in second place, and can that be repeated? Who knows? But let's look at, and the reason why there's going to be a lot more talking points about this game is because obviously it had me in it, and my God, it was painful. It was utterly painful, but in a good way, because, and it's like I've explained this before, when I've played Liam, every single time I have blown him out the water. It's been by 2 or 3 touchdowns at least, and mostly to nil. But that's when he's playing with his Chaos Chosen. Liam has vastly improved since swapping to a Wood Elf team, and a lot of experienced coaches are going to be groaning at the Wood Elves. But it's proved that they're working, and it's a team that he's synergized well with pretty damn well, to a point. It's down to me and him for the league in the Lily May Primera Division, and it was me and Liam in the semi-final of the cup, and this could have very well been a cup final. This was tight, and honestly, Liam deserved more. I was holding on through the entire game. I took the lead, he pulled it back, and I took the lead again, and he nearly pulled it back on multiple occasions. Interestingly, though, not a single casualty dealt in the entire game, at least by the opposite team. There was, however, a casualty dealt to a journeyman thrall of mine through a vampire that got a little angry, and the thrall died. So we will send a pay packet and a sorry note and maybe a box of chocolates to that afflicted family, but yeah, they were never going to get hired anyway. They were there just to fill the numbers. It was an interesting match. We were both down some pretty important players, but my MVP was a diving tackle pro vampire, which has since got a new skill. Find out more about that later. It was very, very good. It's the closest game that I have ever won. Like, because there's been games where I've closely lost, and I've played against some very, very good people, especially in tourneys. This game against Liam was one of my favorites because not only I hated it, I hated playing it, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a ton because of just how close it was. It could have gone either way, and I think because Liam rolled a lot of ones with these dodge rolls, but was managing to get them on the second with the reroll for dodges and things like this. I had some unsavory dice rolls, but for the most part, I was rolling okay. I feel if a bit more luck was on his side, he could have rolled me pretty easy. And with the Treeman coming back for the league final match, and now Liam doesn't have any other games to play for, and he has already told me he's going to be throwing his treasury at this game to try and win the league. Star players, wizards, and God knows what else. It's going to leave me with a lot of money to do as well. It's going to be interesting, not going to lie. But I'm really looking forward to it because it means I'm going to have about 300 grand to spend. And I have no idea what to spend it on. But as you would expect now, it is myself and Jim in the final. This will be the week 12 of 12 fixture. This is the final fixture. And if I just quickly, and if you mind all the stuff, I'm going to take you guys to the Blood Bowl page where I've got all of the fixtures plotted out. Because now that week 8 is now complete. We still have the Sam versus Carl game to be done, which will get done as soon as possible. The next round of fixtures now is going to be the Segunda round 6, which if I double check here, there is only one game to be played because there are 2 concedes, which obviously I will go through. The Roaring Juniors concede to the Badlands Blackhawks. Shaun of the Undead will concede to the Pixie Prixies. Jim, you have a bye this week, so you are not required to play. And then we will be going into round 7 after that, where we'll hopefully decide the league. So just as an update for people listening and watching, the matches for the semi-final were played on the 30th of May. The week 9 fixtures, the Segunda round 6, which might be a great time for Carl and Sam to play their game, if I might suggest, because neither of you two will have a game and it will be the Blood Bowl week, so you shouldn't have anything pre-arranged. These will be played on the 13th of June. The 13th of June. Thank you, everybody, for following the league along, leaving comments, likes. As a reminder, as the season is rounding down, if you know anybody in the Wolverhampton area that is wanting to join a league, and a prestigious league at that, accompanied with trophies, awards, prizes, all of that good stuff, please do tell people. Because as we get more and more coaches joining the league, I can put more and more production value into it. Meaning, more prizes. We could even start giving away teams and players and tokens, more trophies, more divisions. The plan is when we hit 18 coaches, we are going to go to 3 divisions and 2 cup competitions. So please, tell people, and I will see you all in 2 weeks.